Now that I've played more Hogwarts Legacy, I want to follow up my beginner tips video with some more advanced tips, and we're picking up where we left off, with quests. It cannot be overstated how important quests are to this game, because you are non-stop bombarded with things that you don't have access to, and you're wondering like, oh, did I skip something? What did I miss? How do I not have this unlocked? You know, you look at all of the gear that you get, and they have traits, and now I can also get upgrades. Where do I find those? Well, it's all about reading through the game and then just progressing the main quest. That all of this stuff eventually unlocks as you go more and more through the main story, and then it kind of like all ties together because, oh, this goes into that. You need to unlock certain spells to be able to do other parts of the quest. There's main quest shenanigans, and then really you do have to participate a lot with the professors to then get deeper into the spell unlocks, and then those are really going to help you, but it also kind of guides you in some of the things you want to do. Oh, you want to learn how to use the combat plants? Well, then you end up with Wingardium Leviosa? Alright. When do I unlock beasts? When do I get mounts? All of this stuff was in trailers and official gameplay previews. This is a really cool building. Why don't I have it? What's in here? Oh, this is actually where you manage your beasts and you get items and you progress more through the game. How do I do all of that stuff? Well, actually, the game keeps a few things secret. You know, you look and you can see all the spells that are available, but then beast petting brush and food and a knapsack. Oh, that's how you capture them. Why didn't I see that in the beginning? That's because you haven't gone through the quest. Don't worry, it's in the game. You're going to get there. And when you do get there, it's pretty much going to be fully explained and then work throughout the rest of the world. It does feel kind of weird in an open world game that you can't just get like everything unlocked by yourself and get the full exploration. It's a very story-driven open world game, and then everything eventually makes sense. So that's kind of like a big part of the quest, that the more questing I did, the more I realized how important it was, and then it just made everything make sense, and then you get enough rewards from it eventually to where, okay, now I'm really getting the most out of this game, but you kind of have to go through and do it. That's not to say you can't do other things, but to get the full experience, you need to do the more main quests, and those also include the character quest, the spell unlocks, and then the main story, and all of this just kind of slowly unlocks as you meet the requirements and you complete what's ahead of you. Now, another very important note is to read everything carefully. Make sure you know all of the effects of all the spells and all the interactions that have been told to you through the game. That is a weird thing, like with how the quests go and how all the unlocks are, that as long as you know something exists, or that there's potential for that something, it will eventually be explained to you. There's also some other nuances that you might just gloss over, such as Wingardium Leviosa automatically being cast whenever you use Accio. So for a while, I had this taking up a very valuable spell slot, even though I didn't need it, because now I can have combat proficiency, as well as the utility of Wingardium Leviosa, which also works really well for puzzles. So understanding all of that just made parts of the game easier, and it's not just for spells, but it's like every part of the game where you read that little bit extra, or you find that like quest or story bit that like fully explains something, and then it really alleviates a lot of the frustration that you might have had. And that's just using the quest to get as complete knowledge as possible. Like, I went into a dungeon and there was a little puzzle, but I needed Flipendo, and no amount of like Descendo and Accio and all the other manipulations work, so I needed to go back, learn the spell, and then that became possible. It's also needed for certain Merlin trials, and I've done a guide for how to complete all of the Merlin trials, so you can check that out. I have a playlist on Hogwarts Legacy, all of that fun stuff. Like, comment, subscribe. Again, YouTube algorithm shilling. But yeah, that's a big thing. Like, everything is there in the game, and you will understand it. Now, you can still, like, you know, Google search and find the little bits, and this video can't tell you everything that you need to know about the game, but it's kind of giving you that guidance if you want to have some autonomy in at least discovering things for yourself. And while this next tip might be obvious, it cannot be understated how valuable the Room of Requirement is, especially all of the automatic stuff. Then we start placing down the very early game items, you're thinking, oh, 3 Moonstone, I don't need to buy any of these things that automatically generate Moonstone. Oh, you do. You pretty much, the main like goal of this game is to make as much money as possible and then use that money to get all of the recipes so you can really deck out your Room of Requirement and then have everything you need. Multiple potion brewing is huge. Being able to grow everything, all the plants, especially like the combat plants and then the potion ingredient plants. You're going to need everything. Like this is the everything game. You will find every item eventually. You will need every item. You can need all kinds of crazy stuff. The loom for upgrading items gives you all kinds of power in the game. And then once again, just kind of reading everything and exploring your book will let you discover how you get more traits and how you upgrade things. Also, when you first unlock the loom, they say if you clear out the poacher camps, you can find chests that have more traits inside of them. So that's going to be like specific locations and specific traits, and that's a different guide kind of idea. But overall, like, you eventually discover how to piece together everything in this game, and then you can craft your adventure in that way. And then in making sure that your room of requirement is as decked out as possible, doing as much of everything as possible with all the stations, potions are busted. You are a wizard. This is a magic world. It's not like you want to be stingy with your potions or that, you know, it's a different kind of playstyle. No, potions are a main playstyle. You are spamming every potion all at once, just getting the full benefits, which means you're going to be going through them a lot. That's why you have like automatic brewing going on with the little hoppy pots over there. And then if you're growing all of the plants, then you're going to have enough resources. You're out in the wild just KOing things. All right, let's get some mongrels. Boom. We have the mongrel fur. Now we can make the Aduros potions. These are super strong because you don't get one shot and you just take a crazy amount of hits. But really, these potions, the Maxima, busted, broken, triples your damage. You want to have one of these going in pretty much every encounter that you don't instantly win. Same with the focus potion. The more you are spamming spells, the more insane your DPS gets. Also, I haven't been big on the Thunder Brew, but it's like really good. And then that kind of goes into the other synergies and everything you want in the game. Again, this is the best way I can say is like read everything. The game gives you everything. This is the everything game. So make sure you're utilizing your talents. You can kind of see how all of that plays together with like different potion buffs working together. That's mostly going to be room of requirement. But then you get some like silly broken things. Duration of focus potion's effect will be extended when any spell from the spell set is cast during its use. So you're getting cooldown reduction and then extended cooldown reduction. But then there's also an ability that gives you cooldown reduction when basic attacking. Right here, basic cast impact spell cooldowns. So now you're just like, you're not going to have too much spell downtime, and then you're spamming all of your potions, so you're taking less damage, dealing more damage, have no spell cooldowns. You're just winning. And then you come back to your room of requirement whenever like you're done with your little excursion. You harvest everything, you brew up new potions, and then you haven't really fallen behind in loot whatsoever. Observe. Drink, boom, go back into that, and it really helps that like pressing L1 pauses combat, but you get to be cheaty with this. That's kind of the whole point about it. Now, make sure you're pressing everything properly, and you can just kind of use this for any kind of encounter, and now, just have fun. You're allowed to do whatever you want. Look at this insane amount of damage output. Oh, we can go take on him. When you go wind up that attack. Oh, that was early. All right, still bad at combat though. But yeah, then like do the auto attacks, keep spinning, keep spitting, keep doing attacks, all that fun stuff. Oh, you want some? Boom, you can't handle it. All that damage come down. And then, yeah, you actually, like, lose a significant amount of damage when the potions wear off and stuff. But still, like, boom, do that, drink, fire. Oh, man, we're just getting swamped out here. Who cares? Boom, get wrecked. Oh, what's that? We got more magic because we have, like, all of our talents working together. I'm not even doing, like, the greatest combat thing. You just go in there, and then you can spam. And then it's really cool. So yeah, we just got 3 Dewbog Tongues for the cost of 1 Focus Potion. Spider Fangs you actually don't even need to like boost into. Same thing on Mongrels. And I've been stingy and I haven't bought the Thunder Brew, even though Thunder Brew, also really good. If there's a lot of enemies, use it, spam it. You can harvest Shrivel Figs in the Room of Requirement. Leech Juice is free, so it's not even like a crazy secondary. And then Stench of the Dead, yeah, you get a lot of that just through the enemies that are very easy to defeat with fire and stuff. So I could just make that and I can spam it for every situation, and then you use that to get more resources, and then it just kind of all comes together. So yeah, I hope this video helped out. You're not stupid, you're not going crazy. Okay, maybe just a little bit, but the game is really good at making you feel that way, even though you're supposed to be as spammy as possible. You're supposed to use everything you have at your disposal to make the problem in front of you go away, You need to abuse the travel system, abuse the flight, abuse everything that you can. If you can upgrade something, do it as soon as possible. If there's a challenge nearby, see if you can complete it. Even though this seems very basic, the game has a weird way of making it feel slightly awkward. You just kind of have to keep reminding yourself to accomplish everything you can, and eventually you'll kind of solve everything and figure it out, and it'll be good. So hope you guys enjoy the video. Hope you all have a nice day. Thank you very much for watching.